Howdy, folkses. Let me know if you can hear me. Because I have no idea if the mic is going to work the way I want it to, so I need you guys to let me know. Okay, cool. So, let's see. I have a JeopNerdy game set. It's only one board, but it's a big board for Bruce Campbell. But I have no confirmed players right now. So I need to know if anyone wants to play. But of course, the only people watching, it looks like, are Yvette and Dandelion. So I could do something to just kill some time. So let me see if I can get this to work right. I can play one of the old videos. I don't know if you can hear this, but I mean, just in case. Yeah, I don't hear a thing. Let me know if you guys can hear the video playing. Oh, that didn't work. Sorry, I've been having fun messing around with this, trying to get things to work the way I want it to. That's what I thought. And yes, I just chose a random video. Let me try something while we just wait for other people to arrive. Do it this way. Well, I tried. If I failed. But we got this still. We just got to wait for people to show up. What's kind of coincidental, I'd say, is the fact that the only people watching are you girls, and not usually it's a huge sausage fest in one of my live streams. All I need is Mrs. Vile and the Vile Child, and then it'll still be more. So I don't know. I'm just rambling. I have nothing to say until someone else joins me. I'm like, I'm an idiot. But I do like the little SS Vile thing, the way I got it set up. So I'm glad you like it. Seriously, did the notification not go out or something? This is ridiculous. At this point, Yvette, you might be able to finish dinner by the time I start the game because nobody is here. And oh yeah, Bruce has been in a ton of stuff. I mean, an absolute ton. Oh, and that little sound was Mrs. Vile texting me. I don't know. He was streaming about a half an hour ago when I left, but that was only because I had to finish setting up for the stream. And of course, I was like, oh, I'm going to get everything ready. And then I just now realized I forgot to get everything ready. Well, that answers the question. Yeah, but as I said, he's been in a ton of stuff. And even if you say, like, oh, I know he's been in the Evil Dead stuff, there is a lot of Evil Dead stuff to actually know about. I mean, it's not just, Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness. There's the reboot movie, there's the TV show, there's the video games, the comics. Now, I don't include the comics in any of the questions because it might have the character of Ashley Williams, but I don't consider it Bruce Campbell per se. I only chose things that he was actually either voiced or acted in. Oh, I might as well get that part done too, since I'm on the back end. How you doing? And let me remove that so you don't see it yet. No, Mercer, this is Bruce Campbell. Star Trek is just the theme of the SS Vile. Yeah, the All Star Trek one was last or 2 weeks ago. That was when we had the big tournament, which Captain Foley won because, he's Captain Foley. But right now we're just waiting for some players. So I'm vamping because Lord knows I can't do anything without someone to bounce jokes off of. Probably why the Space Force review did so poorly. In fact, I'm going to... Well, Mercer, I posted the calendar for the next 3 months on Twitter. We have this week is Bruce Campbell, if we can get any players. In 2 weeks is Supernatural, chosen by Yvette. On the 31st, I'm going to do Halloween. Then after that is either Sidekicks / Surprise. I can't remember what order I put them in. Then we're going to do, because the new Matrix movie, we're going to have a Matrix one. And then the day after Christmas will be the last JeopNerdy of the year. And it's going to be a Stargate tournament. So basically the way I'm going to try to do it from now on is the last JeopNerdy of each quarter will be a tournament for one of the major franchises. We already did Star Wars. We did Star Trek. and next one is Stargate. Trying to do something real quick, but it's not working the way I want it to. Don't you play the video. Good. My computer was trying to play a video, and I'm like, I don't want that video to play. I just want the link. All right. No, it still played the damn video. Because I wanted to see, I wanted to post the link to last month's, or earlier this, or yeah, last month's review, because it did not do so well in the views. So I figure, hey, I got 7 people watching. I might as well post the link so people could go watch that if they haven't watched it already. Mercer, I would have no problem doing a Far Side one, except for the fact that I don't think a lot of people would get it. But the late Dr. Thag would agree with you. How you doing, LDG? And yes, they certainly are. Although, in the next review, I rely on the computer a lot. You'll just have to watch it to get what I mean. Yes, Jerem, I am still looking for players. As of right now, I have a whopping 0. And I did pin the link, so if you want to play, just click it. No, Mercer, I have not seen those. Now I feel bad because I have never done that. I've never heard of them. At least I don't think I have. And number one sci-fi, we have done a Marvel JeopNerdy in the past, but we haven't. Don't have one on the calendar right now. After the first of the year, we'll do a new calendar, and if you want, we can do that one. Yeah, but you have to be there. I'll have to definitely check it out because I can't believe I've not seen it. I mean, Gary Larson is awesome. And how you doing, Germ?
Doing okay.
And on a Bruce Campbell
really haven't been able to get any Bruce Campbell fans to come up.
Well, I'm just offended based on Bird's comment right there. I mean, this is Bruce Campbell JeopNerdy, and he says, "What does Hail to the King refer to?" Okay. I need to revoke Bird's nerd card again. Not only did he not spell it correctly, he asked who is.
That's a low blow, Bird.
He's the best chin in Hollywood. Bird, since this is Halloween, if you don't have your calendar set up for Cinema Saturday or Cinema Sunday, you should watch the Evil Dead series. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Oh my God. Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Miles. Evil Dead series is freaking awesome. And how you doing, Mercer?
I don't know if my stuff is working. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I have to get headphones or something. I don't know if I can play this. I could try. I guess. Hold on a second. Let me mute.
I'm going to see if I can find something real quick.
I'm back. I think.
And Mr. Miles, that wasn't funny when Bird said it.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can still
I
hear
can
you.
barely hear you.
You're quiet, but I can hear you.
Okay, I got to figure out where my mic is. Sorry about the noise. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, much better.
Yeah, you're a little bit louder.
Okay, cool. For some reason, the mic is not working the way it should. It's not as loud as it normally is. I have to figure out why that is. That's all right. My voice sucks anyway. Hang in there a second.
Right now, I kind of hate you, Mr. Miles. God. You guys are making me feel really bad now.
Hi, Mr. Miles. How you doing?
Oh, thanks for joining, Rick, or Aravic. Sorry. Still waiting for some players. Or if Mercer and Germ would make 2, but I'd prefer at least 3.
Well, just draft Bird of Prey.
No, because he obviously has no clue of anything.
No, I think he's a closet Bruce Campbell
And
fan. He's just trying to throw you off.
I think he's mad. And apparently Jordan can't play because he's fixing his ceiling. He said it fell down earlier today. Look at the screen, Cinnabon. Hopefully it's not too small on your phone or on your computer. Whichever device you're using.
So anyway, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But as I say, because this is the CNA stream, I definitely had to choose a picture of him holding a cup of coffee.
So what I was saying earlier is that they made 2 animated Far Side specials in the 90s called Tales from the Far Side Part 1 and 2. They're both on YouTube as one video.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, it'll be your first search result. Just type in Tales from the Far Side later when we're done, and you'll see it. It's brilliant. It's just like the panels. I think the Far Side is the most brilliant thing ever created, ever.
Yes, I think Mr. Miles is definitely trolling me, but I I've always liked The Far Side. I've got a bunch of the books. I think I even have one of them on the eBay store right now.
I bought the complete collection for like $50. Best money I've spent.
Yeah, I have, I think 4 or 5 of the collections, but not everything.
You know what movie kind of feels like The Far Side, and I didn't really notice it until like 20 years after I stopped watching it. I've always liked the movie, but I've always, I never thought of it as basically a Far Side movie until I looked at it again, and that's the original Men in Black. If you watch all of the jokes, the humor, the visual style, it's The Far Side, just done in live action. The original Men in Black movie. Like, especially like if you look at the gag at the beginning with the mosquito hitting the thing, that's actually a Far Side joke. So is the aliens that you find working the computers and the headquarters. There are so many little gags in there that are very Larson inspired, I think, and I think it's like just little things that I think Larson would be appreciative of, and not the whole movie. Obviously, you're not going to say it was based on his stuff, but there's just a lot of little things that I've noticed.
I don't know. The only reason I have trouble seeing it is because I've actually read a lot of the original Men in Black cartoons.
Okay, yeah, I've never read those.
And if you ever do read them, they're very not as funny. And
Yeah.
Dandelion has.
I'm just saying the movie. I was just talking about the movie, like the little visual, almost like.
I understand.
Yeah.
The little gags are almost like Larson-esque shout-outs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, and it's the closest thing I've seen in live action to what he does in the panels. But I love that movie, man. It's like, oh, my boy Captain America here. He has no idea why we're here. That scene is one of my favorites, where they're in the room and they're trying to figure out how to take the test. I mean, and he takes the table and he drags it across the floor. It's just, that's the kind of stuff that I love. The movie as a whole is just like the plot. There's no real plot, but the gags are just so good.
I could definitely see when he shot the little girl. That would be a Larson gag. I could definitely see that. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it's just like if you watch it again with the idea that I'm not saying it is a Far Side movie, but if you watch it now, like years later after you've seen it, and you kind of think about what Larson does, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's really close. I'm not saying it's exact, but it's pretty damn close to the kind of movie he would make. just the little things about it. But it made me appreciate the movie in a way I didn't before. I always liked it, but yeah.
So it's really loud at my house. Upstairs is cleaning or something. So if there's strange ambient noise, that would be why. I couldn't decide if it was more disrespectful to come in here and not be able to answer Bruce Campbell questions or stay in the chat and listen to all the disrespectful nonsense going on there.
I love the joke in the movie where the guy is like, his wife is pregnant, so he pulls out an alien, and it's got like all these like tentacles. That's totally Far Side.
That was pretty funny. That was a funny movie.
There's just something about it that, it's just very, very much like that.
Yep.
So she's the only one that seemed threatening at the time. Well, I was thinking about shooting this snarling monster dude, but he was just sneezing. He wasn't snarling. But she's got quantum physics book in the middle of the ghetto.
Are you happy now, Mr. Miles? He was complaining that I took people's names away.
are our names
And of
here
course,
now.
they disappear after I click the thing anyway. Well, so since we have 3 players, do you guys want to go ahead and get started?
Sure, unless anybody else in the chat would like to
Yeah.
answer Bruce Campbell questions.
No, you're perfect. We'll get
Apparently,
troll
no
up
one else
here
knows
saying
who he is.
Bruce Campbell.
I bet you they do. You know what? I bet you they've seen him in a gazillion things, and they're like, "Oh," because
It's that
Every
guy.
last man,
He's in
woman, and
there.
child knows who Bruce Campbell is. They just don't want to admit it.
Mm.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and we're going to go to this, and I'm going to stop the SS Vial feed. And we'll
I
go
like your
ahead.
avatar. Your avatar is pretty crazy.
Mine or
Yours, yeah.
well, this avatar was made by Yitzy. If you're talking about the SS Vial screen, that's just something I've been putting together for reviews, and I thought, hey, maybe I could use it for live streams too.
Now, your avatar, is it the same guy that did Salty Trekker's avatar?
Yeah, and Resolute Germs. If you look at his.
Oh, yeah, he's very good. I would actually do it, but I kind of like my Farside avatar.
Well,
I'm sure
maybe
you
you could
can
ask
base
him
it off
to.
of whatever you want.
Yeah, maybe you could ask him to do something with it.
Yeah. Mine is from the book, The Prehistory of the Far Side, which is the 10th anniversary book that he did. I was in college, and it goes into like how he started doing it, and it shows his favorite panels.
Well, as you can see, the board is quite large.
Yep.
Is it just the
mostly
one board, or
because-
are we gonna have
Can I
two?
ask a question real quick? Where do you get this JeopNerdy template to make these games?
This is actually a guy made it on his own. It's called Jeopardy Labs.
Okay.
And he has a free version, and then you can also have a paid version, which gives you a couple more options, which I did pay for because I use, since I'm using it, I felt the need. Even though I don't use all those options, I wanted to make sure you got some money out of it. And it's only $20 for a lifetime, so I figured, what the hell?
Wow, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. If my friend I had a friend that passed away in the springtime. He would have loved this because he's on the computer. He was on the computer all the time, being in a nursing home. He would have loved this game. Oh. Anyway, he passed away in the springtime, but maybe I'll start up a game in his honor,
Can't believe the disrespect for Bruce Campbell. Honestly,
I know. This is like, I thought everybody was a fan of Bruce Campbell. Even
Who's
my
not a
daughter
fan of Bruce
is a
Campbell?
fan of
Like,
Bruce Campbell.
honestly,
And I don't want to give up certain answers by, pointing out certain roles he was in other than Evil Dead because, that's his most famous role.
Yep.
I mean, so famous that people were, signing petitions to get a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash movie made. And instead they just did a comic book, but still. So
I don't remember how we play this. I only played one time.
Let's go ahead and get things started. Only because maybe people will start realizing they know this guy with some of the answers. Germ, since you joined up first, why don't we let you go first?
Okay, let's go with cameos for 10.
Okay. He voiced Rod Torque Redline in this film.
Cars. Cars 2.
I need a specific answer.
It was Cars 2.
Yes, it
Is
was
the-
Cars 2.
He is the Challenger secret agent.
Yep. All right, Mercer, it is your turn.
Okay. I'll take Ash quotes for 50. Alex.
Okay, you have to name for this specific category. I'm going to give you the quote. You have to tell me from what Ash Williams movie it was or property it was from. Okay.
Okay.
Life is hard and dangerous. Sometimes you just got to chop someone's head off to survive.
What is Ash versus the Evil Dead?
It was Ash versus the Evil Dead. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Dandelion, it is your turn.
Man, I'm so gonna suck at this. I'm gonna go with cameos for 40.
He played Mayor Shelbourne in this movie.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
It was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Good job. Germ, we are back to you.
Okay, let's go with cameos for 70.
Chef was his character in this Netflix series. And
I'm
no,
gonna
Mr.
have to
Miles, I don't
pass.
require them to answer in the form of a question.
I haven't had Netflix in like 2 years, so I'm gonna
Can I
pass.
can I answer in the form of idiocy?
Absolutely, Mercer. And you have a chance to steal.
I have no idea, so I'm going to pass. Can I do that?
Yes. Dandelion, do you know the answer?
I do not know the answer.
This was Last Kids on Earth.
I've never even heard of that Netflix series.
Yeah, I'm glad I passed. I really am. Do we lose
All right.
points if we answer or
Yeah,
only
if you
on our
answer
turn?
incorrectly, you lose points. If you pass, you don't lose any points at all.
Okay.
But Mercer, it is your turn.
I'll take no small rolls for 60, Alex.
Vile. I'm not Alex.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you're hosting a Jeopardy game, so.
Tommy Maddox was a role Bruce played in this TV series based on a Jean-Claude Van Damme sci-fi flick.
What is Time Cop?
It was Time Cop. Good job.
I'm sorry I did
Dandelion,
the what
your
is. I'm just so used to it. It's Jeopardy. Sometimes it's going to happen.
I just don't knock points off because I think that's, this is an informal game. I mean, it's if this was on, if I was an actual host of Jeopardy, I'd have to do it, but I don't care on my game.
I think the guy that plays Isaac from the Orville would be a perfect host for Jeopardy.
Did you sign? I hate to go off topic, but did you sign the petition to have Matt Pat be a host from Game Theory?
No, I'll have to look for that. He's a good choice too. But
he actually got more votes faster than anyone else, and they still haven't even tried to contact him.
Well, the whole Jeopardy thing was a scam when you realize that the guy that they eventually outed, the whole thing was a scam to get him to be the host. He always knew he was going to win, but whatever. The whole thing was, what a shame that how Jeopardy, as soon as Alex left us, Jeopardy became a whole sham. It just he was so good for 40 years. And now the whole show is a joke. It's a pale comparison of its former self.
Well, let's get back to regular Jeopardy or JeopNerdy.
No problem. I'm sorry. I'll check that out though.
That's quite all right. Looks like Mercer's probably going to crush us anyway with his Bruce Campbell knowledge.
No, these categories, I'm just picking random ones because I have no idea anything about Bruce Campbell. I'm just guessing. I really am.
That's all right. Well, like I said, he's been in a ton of stuff. So I'm going to go with best chin in gaming for 30.
All right. Which Evil Dead game did Bruce not return to voice Ash Williams? Was it Evil Dead Regeneration, Army of Darkness, Ash versus Evil Ash, Evil Dead A Fistful of Boomstick, Evil Dead The Game, Evil Dead Hail to the King, or Army of Darkness Defense?
I'm actually going to just guess, even though I'll lose a ton of points. That's quite all right. Regeneration.
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect.
No
Sure,
worries.
do you know the answer?
I'm gonna go Fistful of Boomsticks.
No, unfortunately, that is also incorrect. Mercer.
I knew he was in that one.
I will go Evil Dead Regeneration.
That is still incorrect.
That's the one I guessed.
Oh, was it? I
The
didn't hear
answer
you.
is Army of Darkness, Ash versus Evil Ash, because I made it up. He has returned to voice his character in every video game, even the 3 mobile games.
That's why I wasn't sure which one, because I'm like, these don't all sound like actual games. I didn't know which ones were.
All right, Gerb, it's your time to get out of the negatives.
Cameo for 50.
Bruce voiced Fugax in this movie. You can tell which character is his because of the chin.
Oh, which one is that? I'm gonna have to go with Ants.
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect.
Damn it, it's
Mercer.
the other one.
Bug's Life.
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect. Dandelion.
The Ant Bully.
Yes, it was Ant Bully.
Nice.
All right, Mercer, it is your turn.
I will take Ash quotes for 70.
Okay. When you've just emptied 2 barrels of a shotgun into the head of your favorite bartender, it's pretty good bet that, it's a pretty good bet that happy hour's over.
I will say Ash versus Evil Dead.
That would be incorrect, I'm afraid. Dandelion.
Dang, that would have been my guess too. I'm gonna pass.
Germ.
I'm gonna say it's part 2.
Evil Dead Part 2. Unfortunately, that would also be incorrect. It was the only video game quote I had on there. Evil Dead, a fistful of boomstick. That's why it was a 70-point question.
Ah.
All right. I think it is Mercer's turn.
No, I just picked
I'm
that
sorry.
one.
It's Dandelion's turn. I miscounted.
Dandelion Fluff's turn.
Very good. I know it shouldn't take so long. What would that roll from? Roll from for 30. I don't even know what that category means.
Roll from. Okay.
I'm going to give you the roll. You have to tell me what it's from. Autolycus.
Oh, crapola. Oh, I know this one and I can't remember. Pass.
Germ, do you know the answer?
Yes, Autolycus is from Hercules: The Legendary Journeys and Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh, nice.
He got it perfectly. Hercules, the Legendary Journey, and Xena Warrior Princess. Good job, Germ.
Yeah,
And it is your turn.
I couldn't remember his name in that.
Cameos for 30.
Bruce played Chicken Biddle in this movie.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Can you give me the full title?
No, I can't.
I'm going to give it to you anyway. It is Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters.
You know, my favorite cameo in that, and I don't know if it was from the movie or from the show, is but when they brought Neil Peart on from Rush. And they're like, Neil, play the drum solo for life. Play the drum solo for life. And it's like a little miniature Neil Peart with a little mini drum set. Anyway, I guess I'm a Rush fan and you guys aren't.
Not really.
No,
But it is your turn, Mercer.
I just was muted because I had to blow my nose.
Okay, well, listen to more Rush. Okay, I'll take. Was he in this kid show for 50?
Transformers Rescue Bots.
Do I have to say yes or no? Is that how it works?
Yep, it's a yes or no question. So if you get it wrong, the next person has a better chance of answering it.
I'm gonna pass.
Dandelion, do you know the answer?
I'm gonna go with no.
No, he was not in that movie or that kid show.
No. I mean, hurrah.
And it is your turn to increase your lead.
I will go with, was he in this kid's show for 20?
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Yes.
Yes, as Captain Shagazoom.
Nice.
Jerv, it is your turn.
Let's go with cameo for 60.
He played Winky in this movie based on the works of Frank Baum.
Pass.
Mercer.
Pass.
Dandelion.
I will also pass.
That was Oz, and I misspelled great, but great, Oz the Great and Powerful. The one with James Franco as Oz.
Did you know that when the wizard in the original movie has like the nice suit, that actually belonged to Baum, and they found it in a thrift store in Los Angeles?
I heard that. And it is your turn, Mercer.
All right, I will take Ash quotes for 60.
You bastards! Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
What is Evil Dead 2?
I have the wrong answer, I think. Hold on. Because I think you were correct, and it is Evil Dead 2. Either way, I don't think anyone's going to care.
No.
I'm giving you the points.
That's what I remember, but sometimes I mix the two films up because they're kind of
I could have
what
sworn
was
it
a
was Evil
remake of
Dead
the
2
other.
as well. I may have just done the wrong thing. Oops. But Dandelion, it is your turn.
I will. Yes, there we go. Was he in this kid's show for 40?
Animaniacs.
No.
The answer is no. Good job.
I did see a lot of Animaniacs. I would have remembered him.
See, you do know your Bruce Campbell, and this category is basically a gimme category.
Right?
Germ, it is your turn.
But no one else is picking those topics, so.
Roll from for 40.
The Daring Dragoon.
That Jack of all trades.
It was Jack of all trades. I didn't want to give his actual name because I think Jack would have given it away.
Nice.
So you're out of the negatives. Mercer, it is your turn.
I will take roll from for 60.
Police officer Jack Forrest Jr.
Pass.
Dandelion, can you steal?
No, I also pass.
Germ.
No idea. Pass.
It was from Maniac Cop and Maniac Cop 2. He did not come back for Maniac Cop 3.
I didn't know they made 3 of them.
I didn't even ever hear of that. I never even
I've heard of the
movie.
first one, and I don't remember. I don't know if they made a second or third one until just now. Whoops.
I don't even
Stupid
remember
phone.
ever having heard of that movie.
And Mr. Miles is pointing out my improper spelling, apparently.
Well, you were probably having some alcohol when you were making these questions up.
No, I sleep deprived was more of it. But Dandelion, it is your turn, and you can increase your lead.
Okay. I will go cameos for 20. Let's clear that one up.
All right, Bruce played McGinley in this TV show.
Archer?
That is Archer. All right, Germ, your turn.
Rolls
Dandelion is
from
winning.
for 50.
Rolls from for 50, sorry. Coach Boomer.
Sky High.
That is Sky High. Good job. You've taken second place. Mercer, your turn.
I will take. Was he in this kid show for 70?
The Wonderful World of Disney.
No. Just gonna hope it's no.
That
It
would
probably
be
is.
incorrect, Mercer. Dandelion.
Oh, could it be yes?
The answer is yes, as Pierce Thomas, P.T. Madison, and Hank Cooper. Don't know how you managed to answer that question right, Dandelion. That's amazing.
I know, right?
I can't even read that. That's not fair. It's not right because I can't read it, so it shouldn't count.
Well, it's your turn, Dandelion.
I will do best chin in gaming for 50.
Bruce voiced Harry in the 1997 sequel to what iconic 80s video game series by Activision?
No idea. I pass.
Germ.
Pass.
Mercer.
Pitfall?
It is Pitfall. Good job. All right.
I'm playing I'm playing the real Jeopardy strategy. It's like if you don't know the answer, you get it from context.
There you go.
Germ, it's your turn.
Rules from for 70.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh, I know that one. That's one I know.
Oh shit. Wandy. And
That would be incorrect, I'm afraid. Mercer.
Since I have no idea what you're asking, I'm going to pass.
Dandelion.
The movie was My Name is Bruce. That was a fun
Yes,
movie.
the movie is My Name is Bruce.
That was funny. Like he just plays himself and all these like people trying to solve some like mystery
He
or
played-
something.
He plays
Try
a
to, like-
hyper-fictionalized version of himself.
Yeah, they try to like
That's
get him
cool.
to help them, and he's like, "I'm just an actor."
I get it now. That's pretty cool. I get what you're getting at.
It was funny. It's worth seeing. I mean, not as much as Bubba Hotep, but you know, pretty funny.
All right. And Darren, the topic is Bruce Campbell.
Dude, there was that
Yeah.
one show he did that I never watched, but I always wanted to, where he's like, they spent like a ton of money on it with the train. And yeah, I'm not going to mention the name because it could be an answer.
It could be an answer.
Well, it is your turn, Mercer.
I'll go with No Small Roles for 70.
Bruce played Virgil in this 90s reboot of a 1960s sitcom.
What is Get Smart?
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect. Dandelion.
I pass. I don't watch sitcoms
Germ.
from the 60s or 90s.
oh, I think I know it, but I'm going to pass.
Come on, it's Bruce Campbell. Just
McHale's
take a chance.
Navy.
Oh, right. I did know that. Shit. I forgot that they did a. Never mind. Go on. Is it mine?
All right, well,
Mine?
Dandelion, it's your chance to increase your score even more.
Or pass conveniently because I don't need to get more points. Was he in this kids show for 60? I could screw
Duck
up.
Dodgers.
Yes.
Yes, as Pork Piggler. And I don't know why the answers are so small. But oh well.
We should all get bonus points for the small answers.
It's okay. I got my
Well, I
glasses
read them
on.
off. It's not like you need to read them. I'm saying them. Germ, it's
I'm
your
just
turn.
looking for a way to get points, you know?
You should
Go
guess
to
the
no
kids show
small
one.
rolls
Then. That's
for
the easiest
50.
way to get points.
Just warning, complainers sometimes lose points. Hint, hint, LDG. In the Librarians TV show, Bruce played this saintly mythological character.
I never actually watched that show. Pass.
Mercer.
Pass.
Dandelion.
Oh, definitely pass. I didn't see that show either.
He played Santa Claus.
Oh,
No, I was actually thinking about that, but I didn't do it.
I was trying to write. It actually took me a while to write this freaking question because I had to write it in such a way where it wouldn't give away the answer too much.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All
What
right.
does she believe in Santa Claus?
Let's see. It is whose turn is it? I forgot.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go with best chin in gaming for 70.
Bruce Campbell voiced in what MOBA-like MMORPG? And I realized I did RGP. Sorry about that. Was it Demo Gods, Heroes of New Earth? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Transformers Universe, Dawngate, Tome Immortal Arena, or Infinite Crisis?
I got to go with Tome Immortal Arena, even though I have no clue.
Good guess. It was Tome Immortal Arena.
Woohoo! Good job.
The only reason I guessed it is because it also had capital letters like MOBA.
Good try. That's good.
All right, Dandelion, it is your turn.
I will go for roll from for 10.
Briscoe County Jr.
That's the shit that. Yes.
I actually don't know. I won't guess. I'll let someone else get the points.
Germ, do you know the answer?
I'm spacing out on it. I have to pass.
Mercer, tell him the answer.
Briscoe County Jr.
Perfect. I kind of thought that might be it, but I didn't know.
Come on,
I
Mercer.
don't know.
You're in second place. I gotta help you out. You gotta give me the full title.
I don't know. I've never watched.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna have to pass. So just dig me or whatever because it's only 10 points.
It's
But it looks like a great
Adventures
show.
of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, okay, right. I was thinking about his role in it, so I just said what his role was. That's why.
Get the points. Give him the points.
All
10
right,
points.
I'll give him
him
the
10
points.
points.
But it looks like an
All right.
Indiana Jones type of show.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, Germ, it is your turn.
No small rolls for 40.
Bruce played King Edmund in this Disney Channel series based on one of their princess movies.
Well, I didn't watch it, so pass.
Mercer.
Pass.
Dandelion.
I'll pass. I don't watch princess movies, so no idea.
I thought you might take a guess. It was Tangled the series.
There was a
All
series?
right, Mercer, your turn.
I watched the series or the movie, so
I saw the
No
movie.
small rolls for 10. I got to get those 10 points.
Bruce played this president in the TV series Fargo.
I'm going to guess Superman because I don't know. So just Superman. Yes.
Wait, he played this president.
I know, but my answer is Superman because I don't know the answer.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Dandelion.
Is it Nixon?
No, unfortunately, it was not Nixon. Germ.
well, again, another series I never saw, so pass.
It was Ronald Reagan.
Right. It makes sense.
Makes
'Cause
sense.
I
I
saw
thought
the
that was an
movie.
easy one.
I can imagine.
I saw the movie Fargo, but I never watched the show.
All right. Dandelion, I think we're back to you.
Okay. Best chin in gaming for 10.
I'm not
Bruce
on the
has
Jeopardy
provided-
wavelength right now.
Bruce has provided his voice in several of the games featuring this superhero.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Yes, it is Spider-Man. All right, Germ, it is your turn.
By the way, my
Ash.
name is not on the bottom correctly. It's Mercer Create, not Mercer.
Yeah, but I'm
He
Dandelion.
doesn't have room for.
There's not room for.
I know. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
give Vile Mike a hard time.
I'll take 40 for Ash quotes.
The first instance of groovy.
Did he say that in the first one? I'm going to go with part 2.
It was part 2. All right, Mercer, your turn.
Okay, I got to look at the categories here. Okay, I'll take Ash quotes for 10.
The 12 gauge double-barreled Remington. S-Smart's top of the line. You can find this in the sporting goods department. That's right. This sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right. Shop smart. S-Smart.
Army of Darkness?
It was Army of Darkness, and yes, I did that quote just so I could say the whole damn thing.
It's an awesome quote.
It's a great quote.
All right, Dandelion, your turn.
Was he in this kids show for 10?
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
Oh God, I hope not. No, I'm gonna say no.
It was no.
Did you know that John Delancey? Did you know that John Delancey did a documentary about bronies, which are male fans of My Little Pony? The guy that plays Q.
Yeah, he also
I-
voiced a character in it.
Oh, did he?
Okay.
I know the Vile Child could tell you what character's name it was, but I don't know. Because she fell in love with Q because she found out that the John Delancey voiced him or was played him.
That's
From
interesting.
My Little
We all
Pony.
have our own connections to things, you know. I'm not really a Seth MacFarlane fan, except for I love the Orville, like everything about it. So now I guess I am.
All right, Germ, it is your turn.
Rolls from for 20.
Sam Axe.
Burn notice.
It was Burn Notice.
Hmm.
Mercer, your turn.
I'll take No Small Roles for 30.
All right. Bruce played Wayne Winesider in one episode of this sci-fi series on Fox.
Pass.
Dandelion.
X-Files.
It was the X-Files. Good job. Oh, that was not double point. Sorry. But it is your turn.
Best chin in gaming for 20.
Bruce reprised what role in the game Dead by Daylight?
Pass.
Germ.
Pass.
Mercer.
Ash Williams.
He did reprise Ash Williams as a bonus character. Good job. Not double the
Nice.
points, though. My bad.
I guess I should have just guessed, but that's okay. I don't really need to. I don't want to,
The only reason I got that was because Dead by Daylight sounds close enough to Dead by Dawn. That's
Right.
the only reason I even got it. Because I don't play a lot of games. Actually, I don't play anything post 1990.
All right, Germ, it is your turn.
Go. No small roll. 20.
All right, in the short movie he directed, D-Day, Bruce played this World War II leader?
Oh, crap. I don't remember. Pass.
Mercer.
Pass.
Dandelion.
Was it Hitler?
Well, thanks, I'm demonetized now, but yes, it was Adolf Hitler.
You asked for that. I was going to guess it.
No, but he did a whole bunch of weird little Nazi type movies early on. It's really weird.
He did a lot of World War II stuff, yeah, and
I have
Yeah.
a friend.
found himself in the one role that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
I have a friend that didn't know how to spell Nazis, so she spelled it NOT-SEE.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, Mercer, it is your turn.
I'll do the best chin in gaming for 60, just so no one else has it.
Bruce voiced Lobster Johnson in a game about what comic book about a benevolent demon?
Hellboy?
Yes,
Total
it
guess.
was Hellboy. Good job.
Just total guess, but yep, that was a guess.
All right, Dandelion.
I'm catching up, Dandelion.
What's that?
I'm catching up.
That's good. I like a game that's a little tighter, like, close and everyone's battling. Was he in this kids show for 30?
Megas XLR.
I actually have no idea. I will say no.
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect. Germ.
Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. As
Woo!
I'm going to see if I can pronounce this, magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
Wow, the answer came out too big that time. I want points for that.
All right, Germ, it is also your turn.
Ash quotes for 30.
Swallow this.
Army of Darkness.
Unfortunately, that would be incorrect. Mercer.
Evil Dead 2. I saw your soul. Swallow this.
Well, from my research, that would also be incorrect.
What?
Dandelion.
Was it
What?
Evil Dead then? Was it the first one?
It was the first one.
I don't think he got the shotgun in the first one, dude.
He didn't saw it off until the second one. I can tell you that much.
I'm gonna have to protest on that one, but it's okay. I'm pretty sure he didn't say swallow this in the first one.
Well, according to my research, he did. So if I'm wrong, I will be happy to give you the points after the game.
Yeah, it's Evil Dead 2. That's what I'm looking up.
It would be your turn as well.
My turn? Okay. Ash quotes for 20.
I hate to rain on anyone's parade, but Cheryl, you're not supposed to be here. You died after you got branch banged by a demon tree about 30 years ago.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Dandelion.
Would that be Ash versus the Evil Dead, like the TV series?
It was Ash versus the Evil Dead, the TV series.
Nice. It just seemed logical with the 30 years ago thing.
That's why it was supposed to be an easy question.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a dead giveaway.
All right, Germ, it is your final question.
Actually, isn't that my question?
Yeah, it's Dandelions.
Well,
I probably won't know it.
hold on. Sorry, yeah. But Mr. Miles is correcting me, saying it was Evil Dead 2. Swallow this. You can find
I
the clip
just
on
found the
YouTube.
clip too.
So I will go ahead and give you the points, even double the points for getting it correct when I had the wrong information.
I thought
So
Mr.
I'm going
Miles
to
didn't-
blame. I'm going to blame whatever website I used for quotes.
Okay.
Best chin in gaming for 40.
Bruce voiced Captain Lennox in the Exo Zombie expansion of this game.
Pass.
Germ.
Pass.
Mercer.
I'm going to guess Transformers.
That would be incorrect, I'm afraid. It was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Okay, because Captain Lennox is a character in Transformers, so I figured I'd give it a shot.
I think that was one of the gags about the character. But the Exo Zombie was supposed to be the hint because in Advanced Warfare, it used exo frames.
Oh, okay. I was just guessing. It is sort of worth a
And
shot.
I would like to protest that there wasn't a single Bubba Hotep question on this entire panel. This entire board, no Bubba Hotep question.
No, I'm going to protest that there wasn't a single stiff butler door person on this entire panel where he's like, nope, not the right, nope. I was looking for that. That was the only thing I wanted to see was that.
Originally, there was a question for Bubba Hotep in the roll from. I literally just had it as Elvis Presley, but I think it was too easy.
Oh, well, you could have put that as number 10. As a 10.
And there was no human spider question.
Well, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Oh, sorry, that was my phone.
Did you know that the car that Ben Reilly used was the same car from The Evil Dead? Did you guys know that?
Say that again?
The car that Ben Reilly used in Spider-Man was the Evil Dead car.
Well, it was the same model. I don't know if it was the same car.
I believe it was the same exact car, but I could be wrong. But I heard it was the same.
Well, Sam Raimi tries to put that car in every film. In fact, in The Quick and the Dead, they couldn't do it because of the time period. So they actually had a wagon that shares the same name as the car.
They could have fit it in there and just had it be an anachronism if they wanted to. Why not, you know?
And another funny thing, Bruce Campbell actually filmed a brief role in The Quick and the Dead, but that scene was cut.
Yeah. Well, I really went down tubes once Dandelion decided to be good at this game that she thought she wasn't going to be good at.
Well, the kids show one was a really easy way to get lots of points.
Well, as I said, I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you want to do a final JeopNerdy, because I usually pass it to the chat, but apparently the chat doesn't know who the hell Bruce Campbell is, so...
What is there, another game board going on?
No, I just did one giant board instead of doing two boards this time.
What is the final Jeopardy, though?
Usually what I do is I throw it to the crowd, the viewers, and they get to ask a question. Okay, Mr. Miles, I'm going to ban you if you keep that up.
It has to be like a...
Is Bruce Campbell a Rush fan? That's the question I want to know. Is Bruce Campbell a Rush fan?
So, but I think with the points, it might not be fair. Because Dandelion could bet 0 and everyone else could double their bet and they'd still lose. So I think we'll just declare Dandelion the Bruce Campbell JeopNerdy winner. If that's okay.
Thanks, everyone. I did kind of just luck out. I did know some of the answers more than I expected. But I didn't know lots of the answers, which is what I expected.
He has never played anything Star Trek, Star Wars, or Stargate related, Bird. Sorry.
Nope.
I thought he did. I thought he had some cameos that were very obscure, but he might have done something in Star Trek.
If he did, it's not on IMDb, and they even have his uncredited stuff.
Yeah.
So, because like some of the games I referred to, he's actually uncredited in.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, now we can just do nerd chat if you guys want to do that, and I can just open it up to anyone who wants to join the nerd chat. Since we have our winner.
Nerd chat?
We just talk about whatever the fuck we want. Pardon my language.
Wow.
I usually
By the way,
stream
you
for
mentioned
2 hours, and this only took an hour.
Yeah, you mentioned Fargo as one of the answers. I really should have gotten that. I wasn't using actual logic when that question was asked. I was just, but I saw the movie, and I like the movie, but I also think it's overrated because like the villains are really stupid. So like her solving that mystery wasn't really anything great.
Well, if you do like his roles as presidents, either later this year or already released this year. I couldn't find an exact date for it. There's a movie called 18 and a Half, which is a Watergate movie, and Bruce Campbell plays Richard Nixon.
Oh, that must be why I was thinking Nixon, because I'm feeling like there was something with Nixon, but that would be it.
But it either is coming out this year or it came out earlier this year. I couldn't find it. It's also why I didn't do a question about it.
Right. Anyway, I actually am going to head out, but thank you for having me. This was fun. I represented for the fine Bruce Campbell. People in the chat need to watch more Bruce Campbell movies. Highly recommend
Yes.
That was funny.
It's good to meet you. I will say that one of my favorite moments in any film was from Evil Dead 2, where the monster is in the cellar and they stomp on it and the eyeball flies out. That is one of my favorite moments ever.
They did some funny things. Yes, I said out like a Canadian. I live in Canada.
I'll try not to hold that against you in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, Canada's got enough problems going on right now.
Always do. Anyway, I'm going to head out. I'm enjoying
Well,
my
thanks for
kitchen
playing,
here.
Daddy Lad, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Much better than my poor
Good to
showing
meet
on
you.
the other thing. Yeah, it was nice to meet everybody that I had not already met, most of whom I have. But okay. Bye,
All hail
everyone.
the Queen. Hey, Bio Mike.
Oh, hey. There's
Yeah, what's up,
somebody new here.
MB?
Well, I'd say not much, but a shit ton. It's crazy, but busy days. So somebody mentioned this. I saw this on Twitter. One of the guys I know, Geek Bubba Hero Geek, I think, however the hell he says it. That there was talk, I guess, that Disney may have wanted to do an animation of the original trilogy, and I know some people would probably take issue with that. I think if it was under Favreau or Filoni's hands, I think it would be done properly.
Well, they did some shorts for the original trilogy, where they just take scenes and they altered them a bit.
If they did it, I would hope it wouldn't be considered canon, only because it is retelling the same story with just a new animation styling.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I don't know if I'd be able to consider that canon either. You could just call it another retelling.
I could accept that. And yeah, thanks again, Danny Land.
I can't recognize the ship. Sorry. What classification is this?
According to Memory Alpha, it's just known as the Raven type.
Oh, okay. The one that 7 of 9 was on.
Yeah, it doesn't have an official class because they never named it. So, at least in Alpha canon, so they just call it the Raven type. But this is actually a modified Raven type.
Do you think they're ever going to come up with a new IP?
That looks nothing like the actual ship in the show.
It definitely is not the right cockpit. I redid the Voltron cockpit for this, and of course, the actual Raven type does not have a runabout in the shuttle bay.
Okay, that's what that is in the shuttle bay. Gotcha. That's a pretty big size.
Do you think they're ever going to come up with a new IP that will be like something totally new, but will last like 50 years, like Batman or Star Trek, or become part of the cultural lexicon? Or do you think we're just going to have the old ones, and every 10 years they're going to keep rebooting them or continuing them?
Once you get rid of the current crop of studios and the extreme risk-averse nature they have, yeah, you'll have something pop up.
I think there will be something someday, just not in the near future, because like I said, the crop of executives over there, they're not willing to take the risk right now. They're looking for reboots, surefire things, like they're I was hesitant about the idea of Babylon 5 being rebooted, but considering I know the creator of it is going to be part of that project. What's that?
It'll
Sorry, that was
be
my phone
real
going off. I
dependent on.
silenced it.
It'll be really dependent on how much actual control he has of it. I'm a little wary about. They may just be puppeting him at the moment.
Wow,
Because
sorry, a guy with a big old truck just drive by.
So because what you've got is, I mean, I have the original Babylon 5, and it was a 5-season story arc. I mean, that was the plan of it. Is he going to go a similar pattern? That, I mean, he can't just retell the same stories because that's not going to really. I mean, you can have some of the aspects of it, but you can't really just go in and retell the entire same story.
You don't want to necessarily see carbon copies of the old characters because their arcs have already been established.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
It should
have
be closer to
Narns.
a sequel series than anything.
I think it's going to be more like a Babylon. I think it's going to be more like a Battlestar Galactica reimage.
But I wouldn't have a problem with that because I thought that was one of the best reboots that's ever been done. Was the Battlestar Galactica one?
Well, actually, I totally agree with that. I absolutely love. I have that series too. I absolutely love the Babylon or the Battlestar Galactica reimage they did. Now, I thought that sequel series they tried to do, Caprico, was god awful.
Really, I kind of liked it. Plus, what's her name was hot as hell.
Well, yes, she was.
I didn't like any of that. It was the characters all seemed really dry, and the only one with any real talent was Adama. All the other acting roles were they just couldn't live up to it.
I love the original series. Loved it. I don't really like the new one.
And I would kind of disagree. I think Ty, the actor who played Colonel Ty, did a great job in the remake.
Yes. Well, I love, James Olmos is, he's a phenomenal actor, and I thought he was perfect for the role of Adama. Just absolutely perfect for that role as he was playing that interpretation of Adama.
Yeah, he did a great job. It's just everyone else they couldn't live up to what he was doing, and some of them, like the one who played what eventually became the president, she was god awful.
See, I disagree. I quite enjoyed her. I didn't really have.
She was. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I was gonna say I really thought overall the reimage was done very well. They didn't try to tell. I mean, they used elements of the original story from the original Battlestar Galactica, but they did not, try to go in and just carbon copy everything because it wouldn't have worked. It would have been campy, because there was an element of camp in there in the original, and that wouldn't have fit
from that era had an element of camp.
Yes.
Man, I just love the old one. I love the sound effects. I love the lasers. I love the ship designs in the older one much better. I just, I love seeing red and blue lasers. I mean, come on. I just love the cool stuff.
Yeah, but I can understand them wanting to make it at least somewhat more realistic.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I like. That's just, I respect what they're doing. I just go for very simple things when I want to be entertained sometimes.
Well, they could do this Babylon 5 and it could be good and I could really enjoy it and maybe enjoy the maybe new perspective, new idea, or I might not. I try not to do too much comparisons when they do those things to the originals, but sometimes our geek bias gets in the way of us.
Yeah, you just gotta accept the current generation making this stuff is nowhere near as talented as they used to be.
And my biggest problem, though, is, well, here's the thing. It's going to be on. One of the things about Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5 was it was a syndicated show, so it was on whatever channel that your state had at that time, or your local provider had at that time that was using this. This is going to be on one channel, but my problem is it's going to be on the CW, and that's really where my hesitance is, because their stuff is garbage. I remember when it used to be the WB, and they had quality stuff on there. They really had some good quality shows, and then they became we had Buffy, we had Angel, we had I liked Seventh Heaven because I'm religious and I did enjoy that show, but they had this entire gambit of these really good quality shows, and now you have this basically woke crap all over the place that it's maybe if they keep it serious, because that's what it needs to be, they are probably trying to find a bigger audience, because most of the people watching those superhero shows right now on their channel are much younger. They're my son's age. They're 14, 15. That's catered more towards that.
And their audience is dwindling since the quality has been steadily going down.
Sorry, their audience is what?
They lost about, I think, is a quarter of their audience after that Flashpoint special they had. People just started tuning out.
You mean Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I stopped watching, only because I wanted to see that, and I was like, yeah, that was actually well done. And then I figured everything else from that point would be downhill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Flashpoint was like a season or two before.
I never finished any of the series. Well, they had... let's see. Arrow's done. Black Lightning very quietly was canceled.
Which kind of shocked me, because I thought that was the best written one out of all of them.
I haven't seen it yet, mainly because...
they're having cash troubles.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But, I mean, they're putting things like, Supergirl is going away soon. So they're probably trying to find IPs that they can appeal to people that's going to bring them back, or get new asses in the seat, eyes on the stream. So, I mean, they're going to have to obviously reorganize their platform to add new stuff that's going to have, I mean, for lack of a better term, a more, I don't like using the term diverse audience, a more rounded audience. They got to get a new kind of people to want to come in and see stuff like that.
Yeah, the superhero trend is pretty much dying for them.
Well, I think it's in a lot of ways dying for a lot of us. I mean, people go back to thinking Marvel, and this all starting with Iron Man. But if you really look back at it, it pretty much started, right around the time you had X-Men coming out, and then you had the Spider-Man movies that were, massively successful. And that all happened over the last, I don't even remember when the first Spider-Man movie came out. But I know that was...
2002.
Yeah, 2000.
2000 what?
Ish.
2, I think. 2002.
So we've kind of had 20 years plus of superheroes, and where that used to be, which is great. I have no problem with that. I freaking absolutely love the Daredevil series that Netflix came out with. I thought that was fantastic. I enjoyed the Punisher series that came out. I enjoyed the Jessica Jones. The other two I didn't care for, but I thought they were decent. I just didn't care for them. But
even the Iron Fist I didn't hate, but I also didn't really enjoy.
Yeah, I didn't hate Iron Fist, and I didn't hate Luke Cage. Well, I'm going to be honest. The dialogue in Luke Cage made me very uncomfortable. There were certain things in there I didn't like hearing. There's certain words I don't want to hear all the time.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Because I find it disgusting to hear. And I don't like when the trash talk sometimes. I cringed at some of the trash talk. And it's probably because it's not my culture. It's just not. I mean, I I asked
Some
some
of
of
it
my. I asked,
isn't real culture. They just made stuff up they think people wanted to hear.
well, I actually asked a couple of friends of mine that I had at work, and they were talking about Luke Cage, and I said, "Listen, I've got to ask this. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm like, do you guys really talk like that to each other?" And they go, "Oh yeah, man, all the time." And I'm like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't talk like that. I mean, it just, I was like, I couldn't do it. It would make me very uncomfortable.
That must be a original thing. Because I know several people over here that got really pissed off about how they're representing black culture in those shows.
By the way, I saw Shang-Chi. I did not enjoy it, even though I'm like, sure, it's all the new Chinese mythology and whatever, and I have nothing against them doing that, but the movie itself just didn't care for it.
Yeah, because of the whole COVID thing, that's the first, or that and Black Widow are the first Marvel movies I haven't seen on day one. So I haven't seen either.
I'm done with Marvel, basically, myself. I liked the first episode of Loki, and then beyond that, I didn't like anything they did on TV.
I'm definitely going to see. Well, I am going to go see. I wanted to go see Venom. Venom: Let There Be Carnage this weekend, but that fell through. My son wasn't feeling well, and I wanted to take him up there. And that movie, actually, I've heard good things about from peers I know and people I know that give feedback that I trust. Not the fucking mainstream media, because I don't trust critics, because I don't trust them for shit.
Yeah, it depends on the critic.
And
apparently it's not as woke as they're claiming, but that tends to throw a lot of people, especially in the YouTube sphere.
Yeah,
they mistake it not being woke for being
I think
good.
the MCU is becoming what they've always managed to. I mean, I was looking at some interviews about the new Eternals film and how, and I'm not, I don't know, I have nothing against diversity, but they're pimping that up first, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not going to say.
Well, when it comes to the, say like, oh, I'm gonna, the whole diversity thing. I don't give a crap about diversity as long as it makes sense in context of the film itself.
Yes.
Like when people were complaining, to go back to Iron Fist, when people were complaining, oh, Danny Rand is a white guy, and I'm like, well, it makes sense in context. Granted, he wasn't a good actor.
Was always a white guy.
I don't have a complaint that it was a white actor who played the role. I have a complaint about the actor being a bad actor in that series.
Yes, 100%. Well, Elihu who says Venom 2 was good. He said he liked it, and he's someone whose opinion on geek stuff I do respect at times.
I was just so bored with Shang-Chi and John Campea and Robert Burnett, guys who I kind of like. They said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I didn't find any characters engaging or funny or cool, or I just struggled to get through it. It was really hard to watch.
Well, one of the things they also have to and realize too is, guess what? The Chinese market, they make their own martial arts movies. They're not interested in seeing an American martial arts movie. And that proved at the box office in China.
Well, they didn't release it in China. They didn't even release it in China.
Yeah, I found that out. They didn't even release it in China.
Well, they might not have done that even if they'd made a great movie, because China only selects like 5 or 6 films to even put out in China, and it's kind of random.
China has a lot of anything that promotes ancient Chinese culture, they tend to frown upon, because the Communist Party is all about we're the best part of China's history. Like even some of the old video games that take place in ancient China, they ban because they don't want them being played.
Yeah, in their minds, China has always had the Communist Party, and anything that counteracts that, they're not too eager to show.
He stole
they're
my
not eager.
balloons. I'm sorry. I just had to do a Batman quote there. He stole my balloons. Anyway, no, I'm just random right now. But yeah, China, they didn't play it. They probably wouldn't have played it even if it was perfect. Even if that guy, the actor, hadn't said what he said, they probably still would not have played it.
Let's see.
Yeah, you know, I found out something. I was because we teach our I homeschool the kids, and one of the things my wife did was talk about we have world history in there. One of the things was China and the Wallaby Belt, and found out a fun fact. It was actually China that invented the wheelbarrow.
I did not know that.
Neither did I. I also
Right,
didn't know
only-
the Egyptians were the first ones to make to basically make beer, or their form of beer.
Yeah, but their form of beer was a lot more thick than we have today. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so I've heard. I've heard you can actually buy it in some places.
All right,
I'm sure you
because
can
we were
still make
talking
it.
about it, I figured, what the hell, I'll get demonetized. Well, I'm not even monetized, but I'm gonna go ahead and play the Let There Be Carnage trailer again. And let me know if you guys can hear it. If not, I'll turn up the volume and start it over.
Can't hear anything.
All right, then let me restart it, and I'll just play it through. Hopefully, the microphone will catch it. So give me a second to change this up again. So it'll probably be quiet. Oh, crap. Never mind. I'm going to have to redo this. Because resetting the volume controls reset the whole thing. So hold on. I'll try it again, and then I'll bring it back.
One of the reasons I want to see it is honestly because I think I never when I saw Woody Harrelson on Cheers, I never would have thought of him as being able to pull off serious acting. But he has just blown me away with some of his stuff.
It's amazing what the motivation to get yourself out of such extreme debt that they may want to kill you. It really motivates you to do a good job.
Yeah, I mean,
You can file bankruptcy all you want. That's not going to help with your bookie.
No. What is he, what is he, a big gambler?
Gambler and drinker, from what I read.
Oh, now I just respect him even more. It's like a scene I
It's
saw.
either a loan shark or a bookie that...
My stupid computer. No, stop it. I hate my computer sometimes. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
One of the funniest things I was watching a movie. It was a John Travolta movie, and I think it was called The General's Daughter, but it could be that might not have been the title. And one of the things was this guy goes, he's getting interrogated, and goes, she hates her father. Why? I don't know. You like your father? My father was a gambler, a drunk, and a womanizer. I worshipped him. I just thought that was so goddamn funny.
That I could definitely see some people being like, "Oh yeah, I love my dad because he treated people like shit."
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me. Sorry, I started playing the trailer again, and I'm gonna stop it so I can just say something. I once dated a girl, and it definitely did not work out because she wanted to, she really looked up to her aunt as her, the person she wanted to be like. But her aunt was this type of person who, let's put it this way. She had a kid with Down syndrome, so she just shipped him off to a school to take care of him because she couldn't be bothered taking care of her own kid because he wasn't perfect. All she did was spend her husband's money. She refused to get a job, and that's what the girl was like. Oh, I want to have her life because she gets to do whatever she wants. And I'm like, that's not something to look forward. It's not something to look up to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Mr. Miles, I know that. The problem is saving up $400 when every single time I try, something else happens.
I still haven't got my. I'm pissed off because I got my laptop here and I set it up to my TV that's in my den of geeks, and I'm like, great, now I finally have dual screen again. I can finally, have a screen up here and a screen down here, and the freaking sensor in my damn laptop blew out on me, and I don't have time to. I could repair it if I had the right equipment, but I don't. So I got to take it to a repair shop, and the nearest one is, 35 minutes away from me, and I kind of need my computer on a regular basis. So I hate to say it, but going without it for a few days is not going to go well.
Well,
because I'm sorry, I may be an IT repair guy, but I cannot stand trying to do everything over my phone. When I was trying to adopt my dog Gizmo, who's a purebred Bernese mountain dog. That was very expensive. I needed to take out a loan through the company there, and they're like, we need a few of these documents, and they're like, oh, just do them on your phone. I'm sitting there on my phone. I'm like, can I borrow you guys' computer? And I'm like going through, I do my stuff, I download my stuff, I take off my saves, I make sure nothing is left on there. I check the deletes. I'm like, I can work a computer. I know how to navigate and do this shit, and I know what I need to do with it. But freaking documents on the phone, god dang it, I hate messing with that shit.
Sometimes that can be a hassle. It's not really navigating it, especially if you get the right program. It's just everything's so slow. Especially like with the Google.
Just to go back for
Google
a second, because my computer sucks, and as Mr. Miles points out, I could get a fairly decent machine for between that amount. If you want me to have a better computer, I do have links to the Patreon and the PayPal Me account in the description, so you can always join those to help me out.
Sorry, buddy. I just spent a little bit of money to go get some weed today, so kind of tapped out.
We are getting a Boba Fett. We are getting a Boba Fett trailer November 12th. We're getting a Batman trailer sometime in October, and we already got the Orville teaser. So we're getting trailers a lot of trailers coming up.
Well, I'm sure I'll be doing a nerd chat on those like I did before. Although it was kind of funny, as soon as I ended the stream, I got the content ID warnings. I got like 4 of them for that stream when I watched all the trailers. It was actually kind of funny how they were like arguing within the content IDs of who should get the credit or who should get the money because they were going to put a commercial in front of the video, but not block it. And I just thought it was funny.
I've done pretty good with my trailers going through. I've started doing a few trailer reviews. I was testing that out. And so far I've been able to, one got flagged that I couldn't use. And that was fine because what happened was I went too long without pausing and talking about it. And I was like, okay. So I did some research. Yeah, I did some research.
You got to pause like every 7 seconds.
Actually, I was able to get up to 15.
I say 7 seconds because during the shore leave review for TOS, I played 7.41 seconds of the White Rabbit song, and it got claimed.
Okay. Well, the first one I did had no audio, and then the next one I did have audio because I didn't know how that all played out. So I was like, I'm going to test it out. And I found it easier because I can do it through StreamYard, run the video, and do my recording, download it, and then upload it to YouTube, which just turns out to work easier for me. But can't do that to Bird.
Oh, I reposted this earlier because he kept asking me who is Bruce Campbell.
Now, I will be honest, I could not have answered probably a lot of questions about Bruce Campbell. And if there was any Evil Dead stuff, I honestly could not because I don't like those movies. I have nothing against them.
I have no idea
just
why.
don't like them.
I love the Evil Dead movies.
I just didn't like them. I can't explain. It's just they weren't interesting to me. I mean, I think I like Bruce Campbell. I think he's a good actor, but the Evil Dead movies, and I know Sam Raimi is a good director, or whatever he was when he was doing that. But yeah, for me, they didn't work.
Well, it's okay. I hate most stuff right now these days. I hate most stuff. So.
Well, hold on a sec.
Well, here, I'll show you what I'm looking forward to.
You know, I respect Cobra Kai. I don't watch it.
I could bring this one up.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I like it, but I don't really like it. Like, I like what they're doing, but I don't really want to watch it. But I like it. I can't explain it. I mean, I could, but it'd take me about 2 minutes to explain.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I sort of dropped off on
like I like because I'm writing a story where it's about two adversaries. They kind of took my idea with Cobra Kai. It's about two adversaries, and they each have philosophers. So their followers are the ones that are really fighting each other rather than the two guys. And that's kind of what Cobra Kai is. You have like the Miyagi-Do philosophy and the Cobra Kai philosophy, and how for the first couple of seasons they were opposed to each other, but it's through their students that the adversarial process really happens. So I respect that. I'm 40 something years old, and I'm not really interested in the high school characters, even though like the story behind why they're, in conflict is pretty interesting. The characters themselves, I don't really like them. I mean, I like Tori and Sam's conflict, but I like the story of Cobra Kai, but I'm just not interested in watching it. I don't know if that makes any sense, because then I'd have to get involved in this high school drama that I'm really not interested in, even though I like the backdrop.
Yeah.
No, I got you there. No,
that's just what I feel.
All those kids
I like the show, but I just don't watch it.
I will be honest with you. What you just said is kind of like, I think, exemplifies why people don't like Lower Decks. It's, you don't want to get caught up on the comedy aspects and the characters, but you like the backdrop of Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not about getting caught up. It's more about the comedy aspects aren't really quality. They're Rick and Morty level stuff, and Rick and
there's
Morty
a lot of good references, though. There is some clever, like the idea of using the Pac-Leds as the main villain was perfect for the show. The debate about Roga Danar and versus Khan was really funny. I think some of the references were great.
Ongoing, it's a pain in the ass.
I don't watch it anymore.
Crap.
I love the Orville, as everyone knows, and I think the Orville is absolutely brilliant. But that's just me, and I can go off why. But like with Cobra Kai, like I said, I respect the show very much. I'm just not really interested in the particulars of the characters. That's just all I'm saying. I can't explain it, but I'm just not really interested in a high school drama. But I like the idea behind it. That's all I'm saying. I do respect the show, but I have no desire. And I think the other problem with Cobra Kai, and I guess this is intentional, is that the first season when it aired on YouTube Red, they made it look like it was just kind of like like they filmed it, with no money, and it had this guerrilla filmmaking aspect to it, which is kind of cool, but also kind of not cool. I don't know. I just don't. I like the show, but I just don't want to spend time watching it. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. We all have our different flavors and tastes. So,
yeah.
What happened with me and Cobra Kai was I watched the first episode for free on YouTube, and then you had to do the YouTube Red thing, and I was like, okay, I really liked it, but I was also really big into, the idea of the Karate Kid, because I thought, is this going to be like a joke, a parody? And I'm like, no, they're actually really honoring the movies that came before, and it was just quality writing, quality acting. I really enjoyed it. Everybody seemed like they wanted to be there. Nobody seemed like they were phoning shit in. And what happened was, I watched one episode and I told my wife, and I was like, okay, so I got the subscription, just for that time. And I told my wife, who was in Turkey at the time for a year, and I said, hey, I think you should watch this. You might like it. And the very next day, and after that, I had to take care of 3 kids, so I only caught one episode. And my wife she's like, where are you at? I'm like, I still haven't seen the second episode. She's like, hurry the fuck up. She was absolutely wanting to. And for my wife to be that passionate about a show, kind of
it does honor the characters. It does honor the characters. I liked it. Why is Johnny? Let me ask you, because I haven't watched the first season in a while. I don't mean to interrupt what you're saying, but why is Johnny not aware of the internet when the show starts? Like in technology, like it's not like he went into like Rip Van Winkle and fell asleep. Why does he just not know? Like, as I grew older, I kind of understood, everything from Netscape to now Google. Why is he completely in the dark with regards to websites and TVs? And
I'm going to be honest. I think it was his pride, because you do notice he's watching a lot of older movies that are during his kid time. So I think sometimes he was having trouble, after he got married and things didn't work out, and he went into some kind of depression. He's got a shit job, and he's kind of, a loser in that aspect. And that's just the reality of it.
Right.
And he's just, watching old stuff to go back to his glory, to remind him of his glory days.
Right. I love old stuff too. That's why I watch Star Trek reruns. I just think that they almost exaggerated a bit too much. I think most people through osmosis even would know, some of this stuff. I mean, I guess they were trying to exaggerate on purpose, but
I think it was a little over the top. I agree with you on that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I interrupted you, man. I interrupted you because I had to ask. I'm just like, I had to get this question.
No. I agree. It was kind of over the top, but it fit with the narrative of his character.
Yeah. I don't mind exaggeration. I was just asking if there was a particular reason. That's all, and you answered. So thank you. I do like it. Like I said, I'm so close to liking the show, but for some reason, I'm just not. Other than being kind of aware, like I watch YouTube videos on the show all the time just to kind of keep up with it. I'm just not really interested in high school stuff, but I respect it. I'm not dissing. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I just personally, but I like, it's funny because the actress that plays Sam, she's actually a black belt. I was talking to my neighbor about this last night. She's actually a black belt, so she could probably fight even better than her character can. And it just kind of makes me. It's kind of funny that she's always running scared when Tori shows up, and she could probably really fight her for real if she wanted to.
Well, it is called acting.
What Tori did to her.
Yeah,
you got to remember what Tori did to her.
Yeah,
she got it. It took a toll on her, and it was very, very hard for her. And one of the things I really loved, especially about that first season, was the respect for the old characters, and then as it naturally progresses through that first season, we're seeing more and more of the newer characters, but we're getting story, we're getting character, we're getting feedback.
I love it for all those reasons.
I started to really start caring about these characters.
Yeah, I love it for all those reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so
I didn't know
close.
you had a file, Mike.
No, I just did that because, well, I haven't seen the show, but
what did Tori do to her?
You're actually saying is a spoiler.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to, if you don't mind to me asking, but you don't have to answer. I was just wondering what specifically the original thing Tori had done to Sam that makes her so kind of afraid of her all the time.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to have to do a rewatch of it, but I believe she scarred her.
Okay.
physically. And not in a place that, you know, you can't. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I remember her scarring her.
Yeah, I'll have to watch again, but
Yeah, I have to remember. I think that was the case.
they're gonna bring back the tournament for the next season, aren't they?
Yes, that is looks like the plan.
I think Tori's gonna Sam is gonna fight in the tournament. That's what I'm hearing in the rumor mill.
As I said, I haven't seen it, and the only reason I haven't seen it is because I have no interest in paying for YouTube Red. And although I actually saw a bootleg copy on DVD at one of the thrift stores, but because that I usually buy stuff at, and I'm like, I almost want to buy it, but they were asking way too much money for burned DVDs.
Yeah, Vile Mike, do you have Netflix?
No, but Mrs. Vile does.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. All 3 seasons are on Netflix. YouTube Red sold the rights over to Netflix.
I did not know that.
So Netflix is the one producing it. They have already got all 3 seasons. 4th season comes out December 31st, and they've already confirmed it's been renewed for season 5. So if you have access to Netflix, you should be able to get a chance to watch it.
I have a random question. Is Grogu going to come back?
I'm going to Jaloja.
What?
Is Grogu going to come back to the Mandalorian? That's all I want to know. I just want to speculate on Grogu coming back.
My entire guess would be that they're going to do a jump into like post episode 9, and they'll be like he'll be not necessarily a toddler version, but he'll be almost like a teenage version of himself.
Really?
That's my guess.
Now, what they have canned so far, from what I'm hearing, they're just waiting it out to see who actually is in charge in 2 years.
I don't know if they're going to wait 2 full years.
You guys looking forward to Boba Fett show?
It has potential.
I'm not looking forward to it, and I'm not looking forward to it. It, to me, as much as I like the Boba Fett character, I don't think that was from the books primarily. What they've done from episode 1 on is kind of like emo Boba Fett, and I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
Well, he was like 13 for most of the time, and then you get into the original trilogy and what little he's been in Mandalorian. But yeah, even in Clone Wars, he was 13 the last time they showed him in that.
I would say the stuff, the Mandalorian season 2 stuff that he was in, I thought was good. I will say that much at least. Because that was almost like a return to form for the Boba Fett from the books. Or at least from the expanded universe.
Yeah, and in actuality, he hasn't really been featured in anything Disney besides that. And some of
I almost thought the Marshal was more interesting than but I love Boba Fett in the episode, the tragedy, which is episode 6, I think. But I almost think the Marshal, just the way he wore that costume, just the way he was just, I thought that was so cool.
I'm actually watching him on Justified right now. I'm actually watching Justified on Hulu, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. The guy's a really good actor.
He was in Die Hard 4000, whichever one he was in. They made
I remember that. Die Hard. I think it was Live Free or Die Hard.
The one where he almost got beat up by Bruce Willis's daughter in the movie.
Yeah, that was I think Live Free or Die Hard.
Right, she almost kicked his ass. She's like, "I want to fight you right now," and she probably would have won because he came off as a real wimp. They should have made the chick in that movie, the badass karate chick. They should have made her the main villain. That would have been, because she was awesome, and they never had like a female villain main villain in Die Hard. They should have made her the main villain rather than Timothy Oliphant.
Well, the problem is nowadays, nowadays you can't have that because then they'd have to make Bruce Willis look like an idiot. As far as Grogu coming back, Baby Yoda, and I sometimes switch between the two. I think we might see him again. I mean, I don't think they're not going to bring the character back. He's too popular. He's too well loved not to, but they're going to want to do it the right way. I would say probably not the Mandalorian. I would say probably in Ahsoka. I could see that in the Ahsoka series.
Like
That
her
would be
becoming his teacher?
Possibly. Quite possibly. Maybe she, at the end of her journey, because I have a feeling the Ahsoka series is, like she said, she's going after Grand Admiral Thrawn, which means where's Ezra from Star Wars Rebels? That's going to be important, and it wouldn't be surprising to me if during that story arc, one of the things they do is they go to Luke's training academy, him and Ezra.
Well, I don't know if I would like to see him bring back Ezra, but I don't think they're ever going to do it.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Know. I mean, we got to at least know what happened to him.
I heard that they're going to use that guy from the Aladdin movie to play Ezra. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
No, what I fear is they're going to bring him back in one of the books that, one of the new canon books and do an explanation there, but never actually bring him back in any movie or TV show. Because I don't think Rebels, people were happy that, the ghost appeared in the last Star Wars movie, but I don't think people actually liked, okay, how do I put this? I don't think the greater Star Wars fandom cares about Rebels.
Yeah,
They
maybe
care
I'm
for
one
a
of the
lot more than they do those crappy sequel trilogy movies.
Oh, God. Yeah. Tell me about it. One of the great things I thought about Mandalorian was, we got 2 seasons. We got a complete story arc. I mean, pretty much a complete story arc. He got his charge. He was given his marching orders, and he completed them.
Yeah, I love The Mandalorian, but that's just me.
Oh,
Let's talk
Mr.
about
Miles, stop it. They're not going to ruin KOTOR just because it's being remade.
I wonder if one of the things they're going to do with that KOTOR is this time around, kind of like they did in the last, and they did in the Old Republic, is when your character actually has dialogue, you're going to hear the dialogue.
See,
Yeah,
I don't
those
necessarily have a
original
problem
ones
with that
were
because
cool.
when they introduced that in Fallout 4, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a problem with
The
it.
2
either.
original KOTORs were too early to have that feature.
Yeah.
They couldn't quite
Not to
pull it
mention,
off.
Let's look at like Mass Effect, where your character obviously has lines and says them throughout the entire thing. And I know Mr. Miles likes Mass Effect, so I doubt he's going to complain if they do that. Hint, hint, he still will.
Well, they should be able to do it because in Fallen Empire or Fallen Order they did it, and I thought that was a good Star Wars game to play.
They would have done it for the originals. It's just they didn't have the technical ability.
Oh yeah, and the cutscenes will be.
They would have.
And the cutscenes will probably be much more enhanced. They'll probably look more realistic. Change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
they're doing a few more changes than that.
Maybe
they're
even
supposedly
allow you to have more
reworking
characters.
the story.
So, what do you guys think is going to happen in Discovery Season 4? Are you guys all excited for that? I'm kidding.
I still haven't watched Discovery Season 3, mostly because I don't have Paramount Plus. But I don't really, as I said, I've never hated Discovery, but I also don't necessarily like Discovery. I just don't bash it. I mean, I'll bash it for the reasons it needs to be bashed. I'm not going to bash it for other reasons.
I am completely uninterested. I am really not. I mean, when Lower Decks came
There's
back
absolutely
out,
nothing praiseworthy for Discovery.
I don't like it either. I tried. I watched every episode, but I don't like it. Just the tone is all wrong.
I barely made it through the first season, and I couldn't make it through season 2, and I have seen nothing of season 3. And when I hear number 1 and Spock were singing in a goddamn short in a turbo lift, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I get more of that in Strange New Worlds when that comes out.
Well, and the problem is, I'm going to actually watch the first episode, mainly because I did like Anton Mount from Hell on Wheels, and I do think he's a good actor. Unfortunately, he couldn't save that Inhuman series. I mean, and I thought it was really good with his silence and stuff, but I mean, unfortunately, that, you know, even a good actor can only do so much with the writing they're given, and that show was just garbage.
Yeah,
Well, writing and directing.
Gonna get the same thing from Strange New Worlds.
And I agree with that.
He was very, very frustrated on set with Strange New World, the Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I don't like that term Miles is bringing up too, because it's concerning when they say for a modern audience. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Which basically
it's a buzzword that doesn't mean anything. I mean, they could put that on anything and it wouldn't matter. They could say, you know, the new Babylon 5 is, you know, going to be a reboot for a modern audience. Of course it's a modern audience because everyone who's watching it now is a modern audience. When TNG came out, it was Star Trek for a modern audience. When Deep Space Nine came out, it was Star Trek for a modern audience. It doesn't mean anything. And when you read into it, the thing like, oh, it means this, I think you're just putting your own biases on a fucking buzzword.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and it can be, and it can be that. I think that's one of the reasons I've dropped off so many different bigger platforms I used to watch on YouTube, because look, when Star Trek came out and it was coming out like shit, and Star Wars sequels sucked. I was angry and I was very annoyed. I was like, come on, I know this shit isn't good. I know there are geeks out there who don't like. But the problem is the hate got so bad. I have been quoting the term from Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. You either die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And some of these platforms that are very popular, they become the villain because, you know, it's just nothing positive. Everything's anger. Everything's, you know, bad. Don't trust anything. And it's like, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't like being told what to do. I know I was in the military for 20 years, so that's probably why I don't like being told what to do. I like to judge for myself. And I expect and I want other people to judge for themselves. I know a guy who, you know, really likes Star Trek Discovery, and he had never seen any other Star Trek before. And I said to him, what do you like about it? And he explained to me what he liked about it. And it's all kinds of things I disagree with in it. And I said, you would probably not like classic Star Trek, because if that's what you're looking for in your Star Trek, right, in this Star Trek, and that's what's interests you, you're going to be bored. And I'm just being honest. He was a young kid. He's like 19 years old. You know, this is, you know, he wasn't introduced to original Star Trek at 7 years old like I was. Because I watched
a great example would be my daughter, Caddy. She watches Lower Decks and she loves every single episode. But when we watch TOS, she gets bored very easily watching it because, let's face it, compared to modern writing, it can be excruciatingly slow at times.
Yes, it can be.
They don't even take a breath on Lower Decks. It's like they talk in sentences, and you don't even hear like a time where they can take a breath. And that kind of just, I'm sorry, Star Trek is a drama. So although I appreciate the humor, like I just don't like the pacing.
But a lot of people don't like the old stuff. They want something newer, and
that's because they have attention deficit disorder.
Well,
they can't see the old stuff because their brains are working so goddamn fast. They can't sit still for
Yeah.
10 seconds to.
I love the fact that the
watch
Orville
anything
goes
else.
back to the Berman pacing. Like you have the establishing shots, you have actual dialogue. You know, I don't think it's perfect, but I really like the fact that he went back to the Berman era of Trek in terms of the how he made
So
it.
I'll give you another example too. My son, I can't get him to really watch Star Trek, but I have a feeling if I let him watch my Stargate, if he was interested, he very much enjoys Stargate, SG-1 and Atlantis. And also, he absolutely loves the Orville. He's watched it more times than I have. I think he's burned through both seasons an ungodly number of times and absolutely loves that show. And, he likes a balance with his stuff. I think he likes a balance with his action and humor. And this works for him. He's 14 years old. It works for him. Whereas Star Trek doesn't necessarily work for him, like TOS or TNG. I think if he watched DS9, that would probably be the one he'd really enjoy. And then possibly Voyager. But I have to think about the fact that this is my son. This is how he thinks. This is the kind of shows he likes. He's big into Japanimation manga stuff. I mean, he really wants me to watch the show with him called, I think it's called Noriko. And I watched a few episodes with him, and I thought it was freaking great. My kids are into manga, and they're introducing me to manga because I never did manga when I was growing up. It wasn't exactly something I could get my hands on at a comic book store.
Same
Just
here.
going back
My
to Star
daughter
Trek.
loves it.
Star Trek is boring. That's the thing that people don't understand. Star Trek is boring, and only in very small doses do you get that excitement. But because it's been boring for so long, those moments of excitement really pay off. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You can talk now, while Mike.
But like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Man from Earth. Anyone seen that one?
Is that the one where they're all in a cabin and one of them's been around for a long time?
No spoilers. No spoilers. Okay. But that is a very, very boring, slow burn movie.
Yeah. Another good one is Ex Machina. A very similar kind of like it's a different movie, but it's very dialogue heavy. It's very dialogue heavy.
Hold on. I want to go back. Like
That was a good movie
The
until
Man
the
from
end.
Earth is actually written by a classic TOS writer. But I really enjoy that movie. As I said, it's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. But almost all my friends and family who've watched it with me can't stand it because it's so fucking slow.
I like boring sometimes.
Well, I grew up. My movies, my history of film, my geekism all came from my grandmother. So I grew up on classic Star Trek at the same time I grew up on TNG Star Trek. Same time I watched classic Universal monster movies. I was watching black and white movies. I was watching, slow-paced movies at times that were created, and I was thoroughly engaged in them. But I understood what I was watching at the time because I was used to that type of media. With all this in-your-face stuff, I mean, I don't know about some of you, but sometimes one of the reasons I don't go see movies anymore is because I don't really like all the in-your-face stuff. Sometimes a slow burn is, if done right, can be really good. One of the best movies I watched on Netflix, and I'll recommend this to you guys, is one called Hush. And what it is it's a killer trying to get into a deaf woman's house. And there are moments in that where it's just complete silence. Like there's nothing. You're hearing nothing. And it was so eerie to have that happen. But I've also seen, Abbott and Costello movies, Three Stooges. Right. I mean, I grew up on a different era of things like that. I thought Citizen Kane was brilliant.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Did you guys? I've been watching A Few Good Men a lot lately because I love good dialogue movies. But did you guys like Ex Machina? Somebody was saying something about it when I brought it up.
Yeah,
I absolutely
loved it.
It was a great movie.
It wasn't necessarily all that good either, in my opinion, at least from the science aspects.
Oh yeah, the
I
science
think I was
aspects are
over you,
complete
Germ. I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm doing it again.
The science aspects to the movie were.
I just like the characters. I think
Yeah.
Nate is a great character. I like a few.
Sorry,
Like I was
everyone's
saying,
talking over Germ, so hold on. Let Germ get his thought out.
Character-wise, it's good. They fucked up the ending, but other than that, it's a very good movie. If you ignore the science and if they went with a better ending.
I don't know. See, I thoroughly enjoyed the ending. I like what she did. I thought that was very. I was like, oh, I mean.
but how did she get
did
on
not
board the
see-
helicopter? She looks a lot different than the guy that left the helicopter. The helicopter pilot wasn't like, "What is going on here? Who are you?" But no, it was a great movie. But I'm saying the reason I like it more so than the ending or anything, which I liked, is I was talking about A Few Good Men. I just like the characters and the way they talk to each other, and just the dialogue coming off the page. And I mean, I like slow burn movies like you were talking about with Hush, but I really like slow burn movies that have like lots of interesting dialogue. That's just what I like.
As long as they have
I
a
do
point they're
too.
going to get to. But like if compare that to that one movie that what's her name did about the fuck, it wasn't Shimmer. Natalie Portman, I forget what the title of it was.
Oh, Annihilation.
That might have been it. They go into
That's the
this
one. That same
area.
guy that did Ex Machina did a movie called Annihilation, which I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But Natalie Portman plays. The cover looks like they're walking into some kind of area that's like force fielded off, from everything else.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what the movie's about beyond the fact that it looks like they're like some kind of alien force field surrounding a region of plants.
It really doesn't have a point to it when you get to the end.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
As long as it's a slow burn to a solid point, then it's a good. It can be good. But if they're just slow burn to absolutely nothing, you feel like you just wasted 2 hours of your life.
But with A Few Good Men, I just love the dialogue, but I also love the little quirks and the characters, and it builds up to something. But I love the scene where he's going to the arraignment, and he's just like, man, this is the time I got to decide whether to really take this case. And when you watch him enter the courtroom and he sits down, he's just like, man, this sucks. But then immediately he's got to stand up again because the judge enters. I just love little moments like that.
One movie what was the name? Was it Arrival? Was that the one that had the guy who played Hawkeye in it? Where
I hated that movie. Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah, the translating one.
I thoroughly enjoyed. Really, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
It's just me.
No. It's okay.
I quit that movie halfway through.
The Arrival had a good concept, but it didn't necessarily have good execution.
See,
a lot of people liked it. I didn't like it.
That's what I would say about Contact. That's what I would say about Contact. I thought
Contact. I love Contact.
Arrival was.
Now here's a movie I love. My favorite science fiction movie from the last 20 years, and nobody else likes this movie. I don't care. Cloud Atlas. Loved it. Loved everything about Cloud Atlas.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's got.
I think it would have been a little better if it wasn't Tom Hanks.
Oh, I love Tom Hanks in it. And Tom Hanks plays so many different parts. And one part strictly feels like something out of Saturday Night Live skit. Like he just enters the frame. He's like, oh, here I am. It's so funny. But what a weird, awesome, strange movie that is. I loved it.
One of the movies with Tom Hanks I absolutely loved. My wife and I loved. But obviously it's for generations who grew up on this, was Welcome to the Neighborhood, where he played Mr. Rogers, because I really felt he was playing Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he was awesome in that.
Yes, he was. But obviously my kids went to go see Frozen 2 for the second time, and there was no way we were going to take them to see this movie. They have no clue who he is. They don't know that. They didn't grow up with him. I did. And I loved the story. I know they changed certain aspects, but I thought it was a great freaking movie. And
I will say that Cloud Atlas is a very strange movie. By going just back a little bit, it's a very, very strange movie. But his actual character in that movie, like he plays 6 different characters, but his main character is a barbarian who lives post-apocalypse, and he cuts people up. But he's still a good character, and the fact that they pull that off, is such a strange thing. He's a guy that believes in a strange devil, and he has visions all the time, and yet he cuts people up. He's running from cannibals, and yet he's a good character, like meaning good, like his intentions are good.
You know, I got the trailer for it queued up, so I've never seen it, so I'm gonna take a look at the trailer.
Oh, it's weird. It's you might not like it, but it's freaking weird.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here. See you guys.
All right, later, man.
Hey, it's good talking. I don't know
I'm
who's
probably
leaving.
gonna end the stream after this anyway because it's been 2 hours and I gotta do some other stuff.
Yeah, just real quick, I do want to address something Mr. Miles here brought up before you drop off.
Sorry, what do you want him?
Oh no, I was just gonna. Well, what I was gonna say was Mr. Miles brings up Independence Day, and sometimes I think the joy of a movie comes from the experience you have with the person you go with.
Yeah,
I went and saw a double feature that day with my grandmother. She's the one who took me to see Die Hard, and like my grandmother was the biggest, was a geek, and didn't even realize it. She's the one who taught me about this. We went and saw a movie, and I cannot remember the name of the movie we saw first. Then we went and saw Independence Day, and she didn't want to go. I said, Grandma, come on, let's, I kind of guilt tripped her into it, and sometimes I could get away with it. She went in and saw that movie and came out and said, freaking marvelous. She loved it. We talked about it, and she watched it all the time after that. I mean, it became a tradition with us to watch it together. Relive that experience at home on back then, VHS and stuff. But it was a real experience, and for me, it's a 4th of July movie I watch all the time. Kind of like when after Thanksgiving, I watch Die Hard for Christmas, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not Christmas till Hans Gruber falls off Nakatomi Plaza.
That's awesome, yeah.
But yeah,
the only
my
thing I'm gonna
grandmother's
say is, as far as Independence Day is concerned, and I know I've had this argument with LDG, Independence Day is a broad strokes remake of War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
It's interesting. My neighbor, my ex-neighbor, he was an old guy, and he has no interest in science fiction. But I sat him down one night, and we played Avatar, the James Cameron thing, and just because he kind of heard about it, and he loved it even more than I did. He's just like, this thing is 10 kinds of awesome. And he's not into that stuff, but it's just the experience of watching it. He just never seen anything like it, and that counts for a lot when you watch a movie.
Yep, Home Alone for Christmas and Gremlins. Oh, did I tell you? I don't know if I told you, Vile Mike. I have a Gizmo toy. I finally found Stripe about 2 months ago.
I found the Gremlin with the arcade, the little Donkey Kong arcade.
Twitter.
What's that?
I think you posted something about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, man, dude, I was so happy. I was like, I told the retro toy store that's what I call it, the retro toy store I go to, because that's where I buy my toys from. And yes, I'm 41 years old and I buy toys. Deal with it, people.
Hey, that's all right, man.
No, not you guys. Just in general. It was, I'm sorry you thought Will Smith wasn't good for the role. That's okay. I can understand that. I can see how some people wouldn't have liked that he was. But I was used to him being like that, from like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that.
Well, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I just now looked and saw that this trailer is 5 freaking minutes long, so I don't think I'm going to watch it. Or at least
You should watch it when you're done. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll take your word for it that it's a good movie, but I'm going to go ahead and close it down. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream if that's okay.
It's your
Only
stream,
got 4
buddy.
people watching and 2 people are on it, so I'm guessing no one's watching, except for Mr. Miles and
Have a
Super
good one.
Blubberpuss.
And Super
Have a good one.
Blubberpuss.
All
Have a
right.
good one,
Let me
everyone.
know
I'll
later
see
what
you
you
guys
think of the
next week.
trailer. Let me know
What?
later what you think of the trailer if you get a chance.
I'll make a tweet about it.
Nice. All right. Well, what's your Twitter handle?
SD or Vile Mike at SD GameSwap. It
Vile-
there might be a link to it in the description. I don't remember or not.
All right. Cool.
I use the same avatar as my YouTube avatar. It's just SD GameSwap because I primarily use it to promote the business as well as the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel is supposed to promote the business as well.
All right. I'll look for you on Twitter. I'm sure I'll find you eventually. Talk to you later, man.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Later.
All right, Vile Mike, you have a good one. Thanks for having me on. Glad you had a great JeopNerdy, buddy. You take care
All right.
and have a blessed one, and I will catch you on the flip side.
Later, boss.